Welcome to another edition of Sportswire Island. It's an oasis where we can still talk sports free of coronavirus and everything else. And joining me today is Hermitage Football star Carlos Alexander. Played defensive tackle and football, so Ironman football. Carlos, first and foremost, how are you? How's your family doing?
I'm good. The family's good. Just been trying to make it through all these tough times, but everybody's been doing good.
Speaking of doing good, I know that Hermitage Football isn't used to a 4-win season as, the level of greatness, but you were coming off a year where you guys only had one win. And I got the feeling when I went in and looked at you guys preseason, there just seemed to be a different vibe, was there?
Yes, and definitely was. This year coming in, we had a new coaching staff, basically a full staff, and they brought in great energy. We did start off a little rough because right in the middle of our scrimmage, we found out that we weren't going to even have our head coach for the season. But, we just had to play through it and make sure that we could just keep growing. So that was the main part of last year, was growing.
You guys grew pretty quick, though, because your first opponent, I know they were overmatched and not necessarily your toughest opponent on the schedule, but Richard Wright, you blasted the doors off. How nice of a feeling was it just to get off to a 1-0 start like that and do it in dominating fashion?
It felt great. Just coming off of how we ended last year, I don't know if you remember the Manchester game, just to go out and return the favor to another team, it felt good, especially since, our first win, first game at home, can't ask for too much more.
Yeah, you guys probably had that bottled up all off-season, ready to get that off your shoulders, off your chest. I noticed that last year's team, you guys seem to be building back up in the right direction. What I mean by that is depth, not just talent, but depth. You guys have had talent, but guys like Nigel James taking it to another level, you taking it to another level. Tell me about how important that was for your success last year.
We really had what we really lacked 2 years ago was numbers. So we really went out and started going out to people in our school, telling them to come out play football, and just trying to make sure we build more team. Because to have a lot of numbers helps in practice, because you need people to start scouting and stuff like that, and it really helped a lot. And the people like Nigel James and the Josiah Robinson and the Marvin Elijah, we really took the role of being leaders as juniors. Our sophomore year, we were thrown in a tough spot, but we learned from it. So by our junior year, we started to grow up a little bit more, and hopefully we have a senior season.
Yeah, absolutely. And for your team, you guys finished really on a good note with 2 straight wins. How important is that for your football team going into this next season, assuming we have a season? Just for momentum and kind of team cohesion moving forward.
It's definitely good momentum because, every team never wants to end the season on a loss. It's unfortunate we weren't able to make the playoffs, but maybe it was what's best because now we're two wins strong. Hopefully we can just keep building on, keep adding on to our win streak to go for years from Hermitage, so we can start up another winning season.
I was really impressed with how well, and you were a big part of this personally, how much your defense improved last year. And you personally, I've watched your huddle video. You excel on about getting off of blocks and stopping that run game. What's made you so great at your position?
It all goes to when I think this the off season leading up to last year, I really focused on my flaws, my things that I didn't like from the previous year, and I took that I had to realize that I could dominate a game, and that's the best way to do it. You have to start something strong. So if you could dominate your position, your role, it could definitely lead to more success, and that's what I had to try to focus on.
Well, you guys did a good job of stopping the run as a unit, and you did personally as well. So much so that you've been recognized, got your first college scholarship offer just a few days ago. Hampton-Sydney, tell me about that.
It was definitely an exciting moment for me because, I've been waiting a long time, but, you got to stay patient. So now I don't want to get too comfortable. I just want to keep growing, keep getting better, hopefully get more looks and more stuff like that. It was definitely a memorable moment.
You've also, because you play Ironman football, you've had the opportunity to run the football as a fullback. How much fun is it to play offense versus defense? I'm guessing you'd rather play on the defensive side of the ball, but it had to be nice throwing a couple of pancake blocks in there or even running in for a touchdown yourself.
I will say, of course, my first love will always be defense, and that's always what I want to play. But it's fun to get on offense and help the team out where I can. Hopefully this year I can get more, carries, more touchdowns. But we'll see. I'm just going to continue to play my role, play my hardest, whatever side of the ball I'm on.
We've got an interesting future ahead of us. No one can really know what's entailed for football or any other sport for that matter. But, whatever rumors there are, they may even move football to the spring. That would be interesting because you're one heck of a track and field athlete, two-time state champ in both the shot put and the discus. If football were moved to spring, how would you deal with that? Would you still be able to participate in track? Would you have to choose? What would go through your mind on something like that? And again, it's just speculation.
That is a great question, honestly. I never really thought about it like that. I will say this, as much as I love track and field and through all my accolades and stuff like that, football will always come first to me. So I will definitely dedicate more time to football, but I will still do as much time as I can to track and field, try my hardest to make sure I give both the same amount of attention over track.
Let me ask you this, one of my final questions when we going back to football. If things resume as normal, what's the ceiling for this team going into your senior year? Because, like I said, you guys finished off the season on somewhat of a roll.
I will say this. This team is going to be one of the Herm's best teams, in my opinion. We are a very different team now. I'm not going to try and, speak nothing into existence or anything. I'm just going to say I hope everyone that sleeps on Herm stays asleep, and I can't wait to see our first game and our second game and so forth.
And I can't wait to just cover sports again and not have to do it from my living room with my fish tank behind me while I've got this virtual background of a nice palm tree. Looks like a nice island, though. I definitely would visit. Well, Carlos, hey, I really appreciate it, man. Best of luck. I hope you have a senior season. If not, you're already getting attention from other colleges. Might even get attention when it comes to track and field as well, seeing that you're a two-time state champ in the discus and shot put. I'm sure that helps with your core. A final question that I got to throw your way, and I ask this to everybody. We all tend to focus on a lot of the negative with the quarantine situation we've been in for a long time, and I know things are starting to open back up again now. But what's the one positive you've taken away from kind of being isolated from people?
I will say this. I have a very different outlook on this quarantine. It's unfortunate the reason that we had to have it, but this has honestly been one of the best moments for me because for the first time ever, I've been able to work both of my sports with no interruptions, I have to go here, I have to go here. I've just been strictly track and field football, and it feels great. And I'm actually been improving majorly in both.
That's true. There are no distractions, and you got to have something to do. So why not work and perfect on your craft, man? Right?
Right.
Well, man, I really appreciate you stopping by Sportswire Island. Can't wait to see what you can do next year. And good luck this coming fall or whenever the season comes off, and we'll talk again then.
Thank you. You have a great one. Thanks for the opportunity.
Too.